Everyone's asking me about the American drivers and how much they are making. So I wanted to do in this video, I wanted to show you guys pay statements of American drivers working at ET Motor Freight. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna take this video even one step further and we're gonna show you what the Canadian drivers make. And we're gonna take the comparison between a Canadian driver and a US driver, just so you guys can see. They're both working for ET Transport. One of them is working for the Canadian division. The other one is working for the US division, okay? So weekly pay statement for a driver. So we have a driver driving one of our power units. It grossed out $2,216. Now this is a weekly from June 26th until July 5th. So just to get the dates right, this is one of the most recent. So ET Motor Freight pays every single week, okay? In the US, it's more common to get paid weekly. So the 29th is a Sunday. So we do a Sunday to Saturday is the pay statement, okay? So driver made $2,216. Now let's break this down on how many miles he actually drove. So here we have from Massachusetts, he went to Long Island City. Why did he go to Long Island City? We never go there. I think because the driver actually lives there. Then from Long Island City, he went to Tennessee. From Tennessee, he went to North Carolina. North Carolina, he went to Utah. So units equals miles. So 225 plus 727 plus 134 plus 1,951. Driver drove 3,037 miles. Just so we understand, he is getting paid 70 cents per mile. Now again, there's a difference between company drivers that are 1099 or W9. This driver is on 1099. So $2,180 is what this driver made. $2,180 he made driving 3,037 miles. Now, a Canadian driver driving 3,037 miles. He would get paid, our Canadian division gets paid 65 cents per mile. 3,037 miles times 0.65. We're talking about $1,974 Canadian. $1,974 Canadian. Now, in order to get the US dollars, okay, I have to divide this number by 1.37, okay, which is today's conversion. So this number divided by 1.37 is equal to $1,440. $1,440 US. So you can see the comparison between a Canadian driver and the US driver. They both drove 3,037 miles. One driver took home $2,180 US. This driver gets paid 70 cents per mile. Canadian drivers get paid 65 cents per mile Canadian. US. Sorry, 1,974 Canadian, which is equal to $1,440 US, okay? Let's go over one more. So here we have another one, again, June 15th to the 21st. That's the unit number. Let's look at how many miles he drove. If you're one of those drivers that want to get your Class 1 license, I can help you do that. I've created a general knowledge test. It's a multiple choice quiz that you can take, probably about 150 questions to help you get ready to get that learner's permit. Now, if you want access to those free tests, all you gotta do is go into truckingacademy.us, go into tests, and then click on CDL, and you'll see over there that there's the general knowledge test, the air brakes, the hazmat. It'll help you get any one of your licenses, okay? Multiple choice questions. Just click the general knowledge test and go through all the questions over there to see how you score and to get you better prepared for that test. Again, driver took home $2,225 in 1 week. Where did he drive to? So he drove from Concord, Ontario to Fitchburg, Wisconsin. Now you're gonna say, what in the world is an American driver doing in Canada? That's the beauty of our fleet. An American driver, let's say if he's in Georgia or Florida, or if he's in North Carolina or South Carolina, there's no loads going into US. Well, that driver, as long as he has a passport, can come into our terminal to Concord, drop a trailer, pick up another trailer, and off he goes into the US, which is exactly what happened with this load. Concord, Ontario to Fitchburg, Wisconsin. You got 660 miles. Let's just count his miles over here. Plus, then the driver went from Fitchburg, Wisconsin, all the way to Texas. From Texas, he went to Dallas. From Dallas, he went to Florida. Let's just count his miles. So 660 miles. Then he has 131 miles. Then he's got 1,073 miles. Then he has 35 miles. And then he also has the 1,212 miles. So driver drove 3,111 miles for this pay statement. So again, let's look over his pay statement. He just has the miles, and then he has protection plan, some sort of protection plan that he has. I don't know. I guess it's extra insurance. And then total deposited into his account was $2,225. Okay. So again, if we were to take this paycheck, if the driver did 3,100, I'm just gonna do this fast. So if he did 3,111, multiply that by 0.65, the Canadian driver, divide that by 1.37. So the Canadian driver, again 1,476 versus the American driver that took home 2,225. Now, some of you are gonna ask me, why does the American driver make more? And the answer to that is because that's just the going rates in the US, and these are just the going rates in Canada. Can you pay a Canadian driver American rates? No, absolutely not. Why? We can't pay Canadian drivers, literally, I think 70 cents per mile. US is about 1.37, is about 95 cents Canadian for every mile that they drive. If you were to hire drivers at 95 cents per mile here in Canada, you'd probably go bankrupt literally within about 45 days. So there you have it, an American driver versus a Canadian driver. The American pay statements, first time I've put out there the American pay statement. So they get paid weekly, 70 cents per mile, and their week goes from Saturday all the way to Sunday, all the mileages that they drove. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'm Ronen, and I'll catch you in my next one.